Many men are unaware that they exhibit the characteristics of the Sigma male, and some men never even become aware that they did. There isn't a universally applicable definition of what a Sigma male is, but there are several telltale characteristics that distinguish them from other males. It is easy to tell when a man is a Sigma because of the deep thought processes and independent personalities. Here are 12 telltale indications that you are a Sigma male. Number 1. Everyone is treated equally, regardless of socioeconomic standing. Male Sigmas don't worry about social standing and don't need to impress anyone. Whether someone is a CEO or a janitor, they all receive the same treatment from a Sigma. They place everyone on an equal basis and reject hierarchy. They treat everyone with respect and have a strong sense of justice and fairness. Everyone has something to contribute, regardless of background or level of expertise. Their egalitarian outlook offers a welcome diversion from the typical competitive and hierarchical environment present in many settings. Sigma males just want to be treated equally and evaluated on their merits. They don't need to compete or prove themselves. They might not be the most outspoken individuals, but they have a high sense of morality and constantly seek to do what is right. Number 2, they don't divulge a lot of personal information. Typically, Sigma males are highly private individuals who don't open up much to others about themselves or their circumstances. In order to avoid being taken advantage of or betrayed, they prefer to keep things close to their chest. A Sigma male's capacity for thoughtfulness and sensitivity is frequently surprising to those who are close enough to observe them in daily life. Before opening up, they take their time getting to know someone, but once they do, they can make amazing friends. They may not be the chattiest individuals, but they are incredibly thoughtful and perceptive. As a result of valuing their privacy, Sigma males frequently come off as distant. It's challenging to get to know them because they would rather watch and listen than speak. Despite the fact that they may not reveal much about themselves, they are very perceptive and aware of their surroundings, and they are quicker than most people to pick up on social dynamics and subtle indications. Number 3, although they are capable of leading, they don't look for it. Despite not being attention or leadership seekers, Sigma males have all the traits of a great leader. Rather than taking the lead, Sigma guys prefer to observe from the sidelines. They are more than capable of taking control if the circumstance demands it, but they prefer to encourage others who perform best when given the spotlight. The Sigma male tends to lead by example rather than words, and his silent coaching can frequently be more helpful than any explicit instructions. Although he may not be the one taking the initiative, he is always prepared to pitch in when assistance is required and has a strong sense of direction. If given the chance, Sigma men can make fantastic leaders, but they don't have to look for it. Instead of taking the spotlight and getting all the praise, they would much rather work together and see everyone flourish. Number 4, they think differently than we do. Because of their distinctive and unusual mental processes, Sigma guys are frequently misunderstood. A Sigma will consider numerous alternatives and viewpoints for any problem, but the normal person may only see one answer. They appreciate looking at things from several angles, which helps them come up with innovative solutions that others might overlook. They stand out from the crowd thanks to this way of thinking, but there are cons as well. People that think outside the box could have a hard time integrating with others who don't share their viewpoints. It seems as though they are speaking a language that not everyone can understand. When two Sigma personalities interact, they are able to comprehend one another's thoughts without having to explain them. It seems as though they speak in a code that only makes sense when exchanged between them. Number 5, they detest being told what to do. Sigma men dislike when someone abuses their position of power to issue commands. They favor independence and making their own judgments free from outside interference. They may heed advice from a trusted source, but they detest having others make decisions on their behalf. They don't like to be micromanaged or forced to carry out directives that they disagree with. While not rebellious, Sigma men do not adhere to pointless or outmoded norms just because everyone else does. They rely on their own judgment and instincts while making judgments. They prefer to challenge the current quo over going with the flow. They frequently disagree with those in positions of authority as a result, which can cause friction and conflict. Despite this, they won't alter their views to appease others. Sigmas avoid conflict but won't hesitate to defend themselves if required. They have a strong sense of independence and forge their own routes through life, even when doing so means going against the tide. 6th, they avoid settings with plenty of people. For Sigma males, large group settings can be particularly exhausting because they are frequently rife with turmoil and loudness. While an alpha might flourish under such circumstances, Sigmas typically like to avoid the spotlight. They frequently steer clear of environments with lots of people since they do not require attention or affirmation from being the focus of attention. Instead, smaller events where they may interact with people more deeply are preferred by Sigma men. Large group settings are frequently too overwhelming for them since they require some time alone to ponder and reflect. After attending a large event, they frequently need to spend some time by themselves and recharge. They simply lack the alpha male's excitement and energy for situations involving huge groups. Sigmas can still work in these conditions, it's only that their batteries drain more quickly than those of their alpha counterparts. Sigma men can make excellent contributions to any debate even though they might not be the life of the party. In fact, their profound ideas and intellectual insights can greatly enhance a discussion. Number 7, they are unashamedly themselves, which is number 7. They make no apologies for their distinctive viewpoints or nonconformist lifestyles. They don't feel the need to justify their actions or the reasons behind why they differ from others. Sigma males simply live their life and are who they are. They don't strive to impress people or brag. They are unconcerned with what others think of them and do not feel pressure to fit in by acting in a certain way. They stand out from the crowd because of this without even trying. Men in the Sigma group are at ease with who they are and don't try to change who they are. They are aware that their thoughts and beliefs might not always be welcomed, but they are unwilling to alter who they are in order to win favor. They value each person's beauty and uniqueness while embracing their differences. Number 8, everyone follows a different path in life, and they make an effort to do so without feeling the need to make excuses. 8th, despite being introverts, they are very adaptive and open-minded. Despite the fact that Sigma males are sometimes stereotyped as reclusive, they have a remarkable capacity for situational adaptation. Even if they are reserved and silent, they are nonetheless receptive to new things. They have no trouble moving between various contexts, both social and environmental. Unlike other introverts, Sigma men are not constrained by the same restrictions. Although they might not be the most extroverted individuals, they can readily fit in with many social groups. They are able to learn from any scenario, regardless of how difficult it may be, thanks to their openness and adaptability. They don't avoid uncomfortable discussions or conflicts. Instead, they take advantage of them to deepen their understanding and acquire perspective on what others are thinking and feeling. They have time to think things through thanks to their introversion, which makes them more flexible and understanding. Although some people might find this quality daunting, Sigma men are actually very beneficial in a variety of contexts. 9, they appreciate their freedom and are very independent. Sigma males prioritize independence and place a high importance on their freedom. They frequently go out of their way to protect their freedom since they dislike feeling constrained or compelled to do anything. Sigmas require the freedom to experiment, innovate, and think in new ways. They need the freedom to think independently and make their own decisions. They dislike being constrained by laws and regulations. They don't seem to follow the crowd. Instead, they want to pave their own unique pathways. They are tremendously different from other people since they don't feel pressure to blend in or comply. Their independence can occasionally be mistaken for arrogance or aloofness, but it's really a sign of their self-assurance and commitment to getting things done their way. Number 10, they favor working alone. Sigma guys prefer to work alone because they like working on their own terms. They like to think, act, and operate independently rather than constantly being subjected to the opinions of others. They enjoy working with others, but they feel more at ease when given the freedom to pursue their own interests. They only require a challenge and some room to concentrate. They don't require continual adoration or attention from others. They don't mind helping out occasionally or working in a team, but they prefer solo tasks because they allow them to work uninterrupted. The capacity to think creatively and try out new ideas allows Sigma guys to excel when given the option to work independently. They just need the freedom to try and learn on their own terms. They don't need someone to lead them. So many Sigma men go into business for themselves. They may express their ideas and pursue their passions unrestricted when working alone. They are lone wolves, but they are loyal to the people they trust. Because they like to remain by themselves, Sigmas are frequently referred to as lone wolves. They can be happy on their own, without the company of others. Sigma men may not be the most sociable individuals, but they are tremendously devoted buddies. They don't require many people in their lives once they've gained their trust, but the ones they do keep near are handled with respect and consideration. Even though they may not always express it, members in their inner circle are aware that they can depend on them for support and guidance. They don't take relationships lightly. Once a connection is made, it typically lasts a lifetime. They will go to tremendous measures to safeguard the people they care about and are extremely protective of. Even though their lone wolf status can make them seem remote, if you get to know them, they can actually be incredibly sensitive and loving individuals. Sigma men only require a select group of dependable friends, not a large number. 12. They detest small conversation. The normal, "How are you?" and "What did you do last weekend?" exchanges aren't their favorite topics of discussion. While the normal individual might view such chats as a means of building relationships, Sigma males find them dull and fruitless. They dislike short chats since it frequently has no purpose. They favor serious conversations that go deeply into numerous issues rather than superficial small talk. They prefer conversing with someone who can challenge their viewpoints, and they enjoy talking about ideas, not people. They dislike conversations that focus on rumors, drama, or unimportant topics. They would rather have meaningful conversations that advance their own development. Because they frequently have a deep enthusiasm for learning, Sigma males seek out intellectual interactions that challenge them. They can ramble on for hours about subjects that excite and inspire them. All they want is a nice talk about something important. They don't need someone to amuse them.